think the environment has to be
What we're saying is have a heart.
We've got to be able to regenerate our
There'll
economy.
be people who are kind, people who are cruel, but that's life. You can be bitter about things. I'm fine with that.
What's wrong with Singaporeans?
Welcome back. We've been looking at the condition of foreign workers. Now we want to look at how Singaporeans feel about foreign workers and how do they treat foreign workers. I want to start with Jewel because he's a foreign worker, and I want to know how is he treated at work, in the street.
Actually, in the street and the work is different. So because our culture and Singapore culture is different, not same, and the language also not same. So when people first came, they don't know how to talking is English. They know something, but they almost don't know. So that's why it's difficult. Maybe the supervisors ask this do, but his listen is wrong. So that is not clearly. So some of supervisors is really is not good.
Okay.
But some of supervisors is they do is right things and good thing also. They always push him to bad, and talking is mostly bad. Always is like one very bad talking is like kanina and whatever. That is very if like
But they're
listening
cruel,
also
yeah.
like angry.
Okay.
Because that is really bad. But some of supervisors, this dialogue is this good things or bad things they show is this language.
But are they cruel? Because we hear of horrible cases, and that may be the exception, of a boss dumping his injured worker because he thought he was going to die and just dropped him by the side of the road. Are bosses cruel? If they're rude, that's words, right? They can hurt, but more important, do they treat you badly physically or?
Yeah, actually it's physically I can tell is what happening with me. When I'm working first time, my company is very small. My company is 4 supervisor and 4 worker only. So one person is follow one person.
Okay.
One worker and one supervisor, they're doing is one side. So and my supervisor, his mood is bad. His every talking is bad. Then morning when I'm wake up, my vomit coming about my feelings is bad. Because if worker is, they always is some like bad talking, is pushing, their mind is not clear. That's why sometimes people is injured, and sometimes some of supervisor, they don't care about safety.
Mohsin, your publication, you write about workers and all that.
Yeah,
How do Singaporeans treat foreign workers?
Most of my newspaper writer worker, they write their experience, worksite experience. So I get some write up from them that how they treated by their employer.
This is cheating, right?
Cheating, many kind of story come to me. At least 60% they say very badly they treated.
By mouth or physically?
Very few say that they abuse physically, verbally abuse,
Yeah, it's scolding and...
scolding. And whatever Joel said just now, that if they treat them very good way, so if very hard work also they happy to do.
So they don't know how to handle the workers and
Handle the
encourage
worker,
them.
yeah.
Okay.
And now, like you say, Singaporean, how they look foreign worker. Nowadays, the young generation Singaporean, lot of students, they come forward to help migrant worker. They work on.
These are the
migrant
volunteers
worker.
that come to help you,
Volunteer,
yeah.
Doing research. Very sympathetic way they look migrant worker.
Okay. But what if they walk in the street? How are they treated by Singaporeans? Or they can't tell? They can't tell whether you're local or foreigner?
No, they can't tell whether they're local or foreigner. But now I observe many local student, young generation, they working on migrant worker, doing filming, research, cultural activities doing with migrant workers is a good sign for Singapore.
Okay.
Integration with the foreign worker.
Okay, Debbie, what's your experience with the
She
workers?
has
you
more
work with?
experience
Yeah.
about it.
I think that most workers don't have much complaints about how they're treated by the average Singaporean on the street.
Mhm.
You know, Joel told me one story about sitting on the subway and a Chinese girl sitting next to him got up and moved away. But that's about as bad as it gets.
Why did
You
she
know.
move away?
Because maybe it's clothes is dirty, or maybe
After
just
work,
finish
is it?
work, just
Yeah.
finish.
So
So
your
you
clothes are dirty and
clothes are
you're
dirty,
probably
or
very
maybe
sweaty,
smell
yeah.
is some bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
okay.
is
So I don't see that as a very serious thing. You know, if she wants to get away and move to another vacant seat, I don't think that affects him very
You should have gone
badly.
and sat next to her again.
And then
Oh, that could be a rest.
ask for her phone number. But I think that's the kind of thing that I hear people say. For the most part,
Okay.
I think people feel, the migrant workers feel very free to go wherever they want. Many
Okay.
people, if they're free, they go to Orchard Road, go to...
Then what about taxi men? I heard that some taxi men won't pick up people from China or from Bangladesh or India. Why?
I took a taxi recently, and I was with a number of migrant workers, and we got in, and the taxi driver started to talk about how he didn't like migrant workers, and I thought, who does he think I'm with? But it was kind of funny, you know. Maybe he stopped because of me. But I think that most migrant workers don't take taxis. That's not a good indication of how migrant workers are treated.
Yes, I
and
agree,
I think
yeah.
that walking around, except for when they gather in large numbers in certain areas, they may be looked upon in a different light. But as individuals, I don't think that they feel this. Even
Okay.
whatever people are thinking, I don't think that it affects.